Hey, what's up guys, it's Straight Tech here, and today we're going to be talking about why the Apple Watch SE is probably the best watch for you if you have an iPhone. Now let's jump into it. But before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Now let's jump into the video. So the Apple Watch SE was released last year in 2020 next to the Series 6. So the Series 6 is the higher, kind of the more flagship type of watch. That one comes with a few more features, but I'll tell you later on that you really don't need those features in my opinion. So that's what I'm telling you. If you want a watch for your phone, I suggest getting the Apple Watch SE. So the SE comes in two sizes. It comes in a 40mm and a 44mm. Now me personally, I have the 40mm just because I have small hands and a small wrist, but if you're a person who tends to have bigger hands and a bigger wrist, then I suggest going with the 44mm. Also, the SE is made of aluminum rails, whereas the Series 6 has stainless steel rails. So at the end of the day, the stainless steel is going to be a better and more durable watch. But if you wear a case on either one, which I suggest you do, then it doesn't really matter if it's stainless or if it's aluminum. So you're still getting the same old digital crown that's located on the right side of the watch. The bottom button under the digital crown opens up the apps that were open already, or if you hold it long enough, then it will give you the option to turn it off. And if you double press that button, then it's going to open up the Apple Pay. So one of the things that this watch is missing from the Series 6 is that you're not getting the blood oxygen sensor. So if you're a person who has a heart disease and that type of sort, then I suggest getting the Apple Watch 6 series, which will measure your blood oxygen sensor. But if you're a person who's healthy, who doesn't have any heart conditions, then I suggest just going with the Apple Watch SE. And with the Apple Watch SE, that one can also monitor your heart rate, so which is pretty cool. It can monitor your heart rate at night, how low it gets. If you go for a jog, it monitors how high your heart rate goes. So if you're a person who wants to monitor your heart rate, like I said, then this watch does come with that. So this watch starts with 32GB of storage. Now in the previous Apple Watches, it would only start at 16GB. That still seems pretty good. 32GB is double the storage. So if you want to include photos, music, maybe podcast episodes, then you can do that, and it will give you the extra room for you to put a lot of photos and whatever you want to put on your watch. Really, you want to add more apps on there, then you shouldn't really be worried about going over that limit. Now this watch does come in GPS or LTE version. So the one I have personally is a GPS version only, just because my phone is always with me. And the reason why I have GPS and LTE is because my phone is always on me, it's in my pocket, or it's always near me in a different room, but I can still receive phone calls and text messages, so I don't really need the LTE. But if you're a person who tends to leave their phone in a different room that's far, or if you're outside, you want to leave your phone inside and you still want to receive notifications, then I suggest going with the LTE version, which costs a little bit more. But if you're a person who always has their phone in their hand, then I suggest just going the GPS version. Water resistance is good up to 50 meters on this watch, so if you want to go swimming with it, then you can really customize this watch through the app on the phone. And one of my favorite things that comes within the app is the watch faces that it comes within the app already. So the one I have is a Meridian one. That one's probably my favorite right now. I have it in dark mode, and like I said, if you choose this one, you could customize it however you like. You could put, you want to see your messages on there, you could put the date on there, you could put the temperature on there, or you can even put, if you want to put your heartbeat on there, then you can. Like I said, it's really flexible when it comes to customizing your watch and the watch faces with it. So if you press the digital crown, then it will take it to the menu. You could customize this how you like. You could have it all scattered around, or you can have the apps in alphabetical order, which is the way I like it and the way I've been using it since day one. When I have the apps all over the place, for some reason, for me, it seems like it's scattered all over and I find myself looking for the app. I'm pretty sure you can memorize where the app is at, but in my opinion, I'd rather just have the apps in alphabetical order, and it's easier for me to locate an app. So like I said, I think it's better off if you buy a case for the watch, just because it's always going to be on your wrist, where if it's a phone, your phone tends to be on a table or it's in your pocket where it's more safe. So since your watch is always on your wrist, I suggest getting a case. So the one I have right here, I bought it on Amazon for $10, and it comes with two cases. I'll put the link down in the description below for you guys to see if you guys do want to buy this case as well. Now another feature that this watch does not come with is AOD, which stands for always on display. Now if you're a person who likes AOD, always on display, then you have to get the Series 6. Whereas if you don't need that, like myself, then you could just get the Apple Watch 6. AOD is nice. it does make the watch look a lot nicer. When people look at you from afar, your watch is always going to be on and it looks more elegant, especially if you're going to go out to a party. If you want to dress up, it's going to fit whatever you're going to be wearing and it's going to make it look a lot nicer. But if you don't tend to use that, if you don't want to use that, if it's not convenient for your lifestyle like myself, then you don't need to get the Apple Watch Series 6. You could just get the SE, which doesn't come with the always on display, and it's quick. At the end of the day, you just put the watch close to your face and it turns on, and once you let go of it, then the screen turns off, which is pretty quick as well. So if you're a person who likes AOD, go for the 6. If you don't like that, then just get the SE like I do. And another thing to consider is that when you have AOD, that does kill your battery a lot faster. So the SE does not come with it, so your battery life is going to be pretty decent. But if you do have it on your 6 series, it is going to kill your battery a lot more quicker. With that being said, this watch does last me around a day and a half, depending on how much I'm using the watch. Pretty good in my opinion, but there are watches out there that have way better battery life, like the OnePlus watch, which they're claiming that you only have to charge the watch once a week. With my Apple Watch SE, I would have to charge it every day and a half. It's not a big deal. It takes around an hour and a half to fully charge, depending on how low you are. But for me and my daily usage, that's okay in my book. And last but not least, the prices. So if you get the smaller version, the 40mm, that one starts at $279, where if you get the 44mm, that one starts at $309. So that's only a $30 difference, which is not a big deal. That's a pretty good price, to be honest. So if you have a bigger hand, I suggest getting the 44mm. If you have a smaller wrist, smaller hands, get the 40mm. Whereas the Series 6 starts at $399 for the 40mm and $429 for the 44mm. So that's gonna be $100 difference if you want to get the better and more expensive watch. But like I said, at the end of the day, you don't need the best of the best. The Apple Watch SE is good enough for most people. It's good enough for me. If you're a person who likes to receive text messages, simple notifications from social media, emailing, doing things like that, then I suggest just getting this one, because that's what I do. I don't really use this watch to its full extent. So if you're a simple person who just wants to receive notifications, then I suggest just getting this watch. And that's why I said in the beginning of this video that this watch is for most people who have iPhones. I know I didn't get into detail much about working out and stuff like that, just because for me, I don't work out, I don't do any of those things, I don't jog, I don't run, so I don't really know how good this watch is when it comes to that. But I know for a fact that there are better watches out there that are known just for keeping track of when you work out and how long you run for and how many calories you're losing. From what I know, this one does do the basics. But if you're a person who tends to be heavy on working out, then I suggest getting another watch that's really into training and tracking your workouts. So that's been it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Don't forget before you guys leave. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.